Tony Khan accidentally leaks the AEW Full Gear 2021 card. Plus, the Young Bucks have been mocking NXT 2.0 and Impact signs a top indie talent. It's all in the wrestling news right now. That awkward moment when you're just chilling at a Jaguars game and you reveal the entire card of your next major pay-per-view. Relatable?
Yeah, definitely. That happens to me every week, mate.
Yeah.
Every week.
It happened to Tony Khan, caught in a lovely photo by Associated Press, who used those gosh darn super high quality cameras that show, if you zoom in, he's written the AEW card down.
It's not even that high quality. It's like 4K. It's
is that all?
It's just a standard phone picture. It's just obviously higher resolution and
better get a bed for 8K these days.
I'm happy that his handwriting's worse than mine.
Yeah.
I got mine and got terrible. Last time I tried to actually physically write something, I've had to start like properly trying again because my writing's just scrawl.
I think the one thing that will devolve with humans before anything else, before this finger goes, is the ability to write.
Yes.
And Tony Khan has the handwriting of somebody very excitedly writing there.
Yes.
I'm no
I mean, he's got good reason to be excited when you have a look at the card, though, doesn't he?
So we've zoomed in with our microscopes and taken a look at what this piece of paper says. We can kind of decipher some of it, can't we?
Yeah, like some of it is legible, some of it isn't that legible. Obviously, he's holding it on a piece of paper, and he's sort of stood there, so it's quite, there's light shining on it in bits that it's just a bit sort of decipherable in places and not in the others.
If you don't want the AEW Full Gear card ruined by those gosh darn marks on the internet, then you might want to click off now because we're going to talk about
Don't click off. Just click ahead to the time that's here below.
Do that.
Yes.
There you go.
Don't tell people to click off videos.
Okay, so what we can decipher is Kenny and Hangman.
Yes.
At the top, so I mean that one's pretty much a given.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. And then after that, we've got Bryan versus Mox.
Nice. Yeah. I'm down for a bit of Bryan Danielson versus John Moxley. Inner Circle, an American top team, bit of faction warfare for Full Gear.
Yeah, and then we've got MJF versus Darby.
Have we had that before?
Yeah.
I don't know if we have. CM Punk in action against Wardlow, fighting the big boy Wardlow. Mm-hmm. We don't know Britt Baker's opponent. There's a blank space next to that where he'll write your name. So no opponent as yet for the AEW Women's Champion.
Yes, and then we've got Thunder Rosa versus Jade Cargill, and then in brackets, in massive letters next to it, Short.
We were trying to decide whether he'd written a 4 or a 9.
It looked like 9, but 9 wouldn't be a short match, would it?
No, that's it. 4 would be a short match. Christian versus Cole. Christian and Adam Cole having a nice little one. Lucha is mentioned in there, but nothing's really mentioned about a potential opponent. We just see the word Lucha. The Lucha Brothers will be a part of the show. Young Bucks and Jurassic Express.
Yeah.
They've had some good back and forths.
Yeah, and I mean, after that, all that's left is Cody versus Malachi Black or Andrade or Miro.
I mean, Cody, Andrade and Cody Miro are new.
Do you reckon Cody just turns up and they're all stood in a row like shiny toys? And he just goes, ooh, Miro this week.
He has to choose one like blind data. Let's have a look at what you got on. That'd be amazing. So that's the Full Gear card. I mean, obviously, shame it got shown to us in this particular manner, but a good card.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to change massively, or this could also be Tony being a cheeky boy and getting it out there.
I mean, I like the school of thought that this is just Tony
it's
playing us.
For somebody who operates in the spheres he operates in, this would be a pretty big oversight for him to have stood there with it facing the camera. It's almost like he'd be able to go, see, I leaked it ages ago, like down the line.
You see, I feel like that's something that I would do. Like, I feel like I'd sort of absent-mindedly leak the card for Full Gear.
Yeah, I mean, it probably is, but at the same time, a part of my brain's always going to be like,
speculation forever, friend. No speculation on this. Tony Khan has been talking about a potential streaming service for AEW. He's in conversation with Brandon Walker on Wrestling and said, I'm talking to great people about Warner Media and AEW partnering. I think there are great opportunities. I work with one of the biggest media companies in the world, and they have a lot of great ideas. He says obviously over 100 episodes of Dynamite, a similar number of episodes to Dark. They did the House Always Wins house show that they've recorded for a later date. They've got enough of a back catalogue where if they wanted to move away from Fight and have it all in-house, they probably could.
It's just a no-brainer. Like this, the only way they'll be able to guarantee, a massive return that they make almost 100% on, like probably a better deal than they get through a third party, would be partnering up with somebody who can then, build you a bespoke app and use their streaming technology to do it. So I think that ultimately this will be the easiest option moving forward. One, for that, it's probably a little bit more profitable. Two, they can curate it and build and make their own content for it. And three, if it's just one website you go to and you log in, then it's one website you go to and you log in. It's not, it's on this channel, and it's on that, and you can get it on Fight, and you've got to have the pass, and you don't need the pass, and you can't get that on the pass, but you need to pay for that. And if they just had a service, then you can still do it.
The key to success in this is ease, isn't it? It's just making it as less hoops to jump through. We are so lazy, aren't we?
It's like one link for the entire world, and you click, and that's it. Yeah. And maybe 3 tiers, It's free, and you get to see this. It's a tenner a month, and you get to see that. It's 20 quid a month, and you get all this plus live pay-per-views or whatever. It's a lovely idea. Just work on that. Young Bucks throwing a few barbs towards NXT 2.0. Yes. So yesterday, Top Dollar from Hit Row tweeted out, some of your favourite wrestlers only wear sneakers on camera to seem cool and hip, but in real life they rock Vans and Asics exclusively. But you're not ready for that conversation.
Oh well.
Now this is interesting because this is something Jonah sent to hell. Was people wrestlers in Jordans. Wrestlers wearing Jordans he's like, it was just something that he had to physically send to hell. But after this, the Young Bucks Twitter bio was changed, of course, to spent more on sneakers in September than the entire NXT roster did.
Hooray! The saltiest from the Young Bucks. They do have nice trainers, though.
Oh, yes.
But I'm sure they own a pair of Asics just to kick around in.
No.
No,
you look at them. They wear solid gold clothing. That's all
they'll
they
have some
wear.
Sliders for knocking around the house.
They dress down for TV. When they're at home, they're in full, solid gold tuxedos. The works.
Scorpio Sky had an interview with Mike Johnson of PW Insider. He has confirmed that he's locked in with AEW for 5 more years. We've seen some great stuff from Scorpio Sky, and he says, I signed right around the pay-per-view. I'm happy to be with AEW for at least 5 more years.
Well, this is it. Like, Scorpio Sky is a great talent. He's a great get for AEW, and he's somebody who the company can do so much work with. Like, the guy is very, very versatile, and he can be used in a range of positions. I still think there's a lot we're going to see from him, and I think that it makes sense for that relationship to continue.
Download the Cultaholic podcast feed right now. Subscribe to the feed wherever you are to hear from Scorpio Sky's Men of the Year tag partner, Ethan Page, this morning in a very special episode of Desert Island Graps. It's waiting for you right now. Ooh. Me and Ethan Page had a chat last night. He's a lovely lad. We talked about Power Rangers for a bit.
Nice.
And of course, the small matter of Rampage up against SmackDown tomorrow night, but mainly Power Rangers. Finally talking on signing. I'm so happy for this. Another former Desert Island Graps guest getting their just desserts. We had Masha Slamovich on the show. She was ready to take over the world just a couple of months back when we spoke, and by gosh, off to the races we go. Clip posted on Impact Wrestling social media from the Impact Knockouts Knockdown, which showed Gail Kim informing Masha Slamovich after that amazing match with Deonna Purrazzo that she was officially signing with Impact Wrestling. A contract offered to Slamovich. I am so happy. Slamovich is ace!
This is, and Impact always had, I feel, a strong women's division, and they've always tried to put at least a little bit more, especially through times like, WWE Divas era. Impact were kind of operating in the face of that. They were trying to be the opposite and buck that trend. So it's nice to see them continuing to bolster that female roster with more and more and more. It's just good, isn't it? It's just a nice thing. It's just a really, really nice thing.
And it's just nice to see the wrestling world, now this is officially out there, to see the wrestling world coming out and celebrating Masha Slamovich. You love to see it. And you'll love to see more news later as we get it, and at cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.